Saram and a warm welcome to you, sir, to the studios of Sri Sathya Sai Media Center. Today, we want to know from you your connect with Swami, how it all began.
My memory goes back to when I was about 10 years old or so. Dr. Padmanabhan and my father, late father Sundara Swami, were very close friends, and they were acquaintances even earlier. And that's how one of the neighbors of Dr. Padmanabhan was the Yadalam family house, Gangadhar Shetty Garu, who held many positions and a great devotee of Swami. Even Gangadhar Shetty's father was also a devotee of Swami. And they happened to be the clients of my grandfather, Ganesh Rao, who was also a lawyer. So it dates back to sometime in the 40s. So from then we knew the family. But sometime in the early 60s is when my memory goes back. Before that, I don't recall, but probably father had Swami's darshan even before that. But in the early 60s, there was a lot of discussion. Many times Baba's name was mentioned. And whenever we went to Gangadhar Shetty's house, there's a big photograph of Swami there. And so the topic would veer around to Swami. And my memory goes back to a day when suddenly one evening, I was told that father is going to Gangadhar Shetty's house, close to that somewhere. And Baba is in Bangalore and we have darshan there. So my recollection is that there was quite a big gathering there. And it was a kind of an old shamiana that had been erected there. And we went there. Swami was very graciously there. He spoke a little bit in Kannada and a little bit in Telugu. And then he blessed a lot of people who were there. And then Mr. Dr. Padmanabhan called father aside and introduced him to Bhagawan. Maybe they had even had darshan earlier, but that recollection I have. And after that, they performed aarti for Swami. And then they gave us all some prasadam and we left. That was my first darshan of Swami. And I was probably 10 years old. But then our family is, what shall I say, steeply into spirituality, religion. We are all, great believers in God. And I was blessed to be born in a family like this. My grandfather was very closely connected to the Ramakrishna mission. And many realized Swamijis who were stationed in Bangalore and elsewhere were very close to my grandfather. I recall stories of Swami Tyageshwarananji, a very renowned monk who had to undergo surgery, and my grandfather took him to the KGF General Hospital, which is about 50 miles away from Bangalore. And a lot of things about how the Swamiji underwent a surgery without anesthesia. And the doctor said, we would like to operate. Can we give you anesthesia? I said, I'm ready. Give me a few minutes. And then he shut off and the surgery was performed. Wow. And, this is a kind of atmosphere in which we grew up. And many great saints were connected to our family in many ways. Swami Brahmananda, who was one of the immediate disciples of Swami Vivekananda, his immediate disciple, Swami Yatishwarananji, is a famous writer. He set up a center in Switzerland for the first time. There are books that these great saints have presented to my father and grandfather, which I still possess as their treasured gifts. Now, this is the milieu in which the family grew up. My grandfather is a great believer. He's a great achiever. He's a good lawyer, very successful man in society, founder of engineering college, medical college, and he was a scout commissioner, and he was a Freemason, master of the lodge, a number of achievements to his credit. But he was a great believer in God. And there's a family temple. Our family deity is a form of Krishna, is called Channakeshava. And there is a temple of Channakeshava in a place called Mudigere, which is very close to a small town called, very close to Chikbalapur. And the name of the town is Gauri Bidnur. So there's a family, there's a deity. And that dates back to about over 1,000 years old, the temple is. So our family was living there. And because of drought and plague and other things, the family moved nearer to Bangalore, a village called Sondekopa, which is only about 35 kilometers from Bangalore now. It's really part of Bangalore. So they lived there. And when they came there, they realized that there was another old temple. And it was all dilapidated. And nobody knew which deity was actually presiding over there. It was completely destroyed at that time. And so grandfather started wondering, why is this temple here? I should, think of something. Just outside the temple, there is a village. There was an old Prasanna Mahaganapati temple, which is dating about 350 years old or so. So a tiny small temple, but a very big, huge temple Kalyani is there. It's really big temple Kalyani. The temple itself is very small. So grandfather started thinking that, well, I think it's time that, I rebuilt the temple which was on the outskirts of the village. And so he said, we'll do a renovation. Actually, it was not renovation, it was a new building. But he nevertheless went and excavated some stones and some friezes and some pillars and all that, which is temple paraphernalia from there, and brought it and started constructing the temple in 1954. And he did it on his own. And at that time, he had started developing a kind of a detachment to family life, because he was at that time the peak of his career. He was born in 1902, so he was 52, 53 years old. And that's the time when a lawyer really reaches his peak of his career if he's a good lawyer. He said, enough of the profession. I think I'm going to devote myself to spiritual pursuits. And therefore, this temple was built. And he made a selection of many of the important things which I speak about, the Upanishads, the Vedas, Bhagavad Gita, and some of the famous compositions of Kannada poets, had them inscribed on stone in the temple. And that became the fulcrum of our lives. Because just after the temple was built, grandfather fell ill, and it fell to the lot of my father, as the eldest of his 5 children, to look after the temple. And father was also not, very old at the time. He was hardly in his late 30s. And therefore, he started. And father was also very spiritually inclined and a great believer of God, and connected with, again, Ramakrishna Mission, the famous Jagat Gurus of Sringeri. At least 4 generations of Sringeri Swamijis have visited our house. And even today, if we ever go there for darshan, they do give us a lot of respect, bless us, and we are indeed a blessed family. So this is the milieu in which we grew up. And so when this happened, and in our family we've always had Nitya Puja, so there is not a day when the day goes by without somebody in the house doesn't perform puja for our Ishtadevata at home. And it's a Shodashopchar Puja, which is followed in the Sringeri Paddhati that we do. So this is a scenario in which we grew up. So when it came to Bhagawan Baba, as I said, our family made no distinction between a saint, a divine being, anything connected with God, we would naturally get attracted. Like how ants get attracted to sugar, you see. Even in our younger days, whenever we went for a trip anywhere, it was just a visit to some place, invariably, the visit would never end till we visited the temple in that place, till we visited a holy place, till we went to that place and, met some saint who is living there, or some Swamiji who may be residing there. These are things, which sort of naturally went. So my children, whenever they were young and we went on a trip, they would always say, Papa, when we go to this place, we have to, quota of temples we haven't finished this time. So that used to be, it got ingrained into them. So that was how it was in grandfather and father's time. And so the darshan of Bhagawan made a lot of difference to us. And for some reason, I don't know if it is Swami's grace or Purva Janma Sukruta, whatever it is, Bhagawan had great deal of affection for my father. He had great respect for him, and he never missed a chance to make my father very comfortable. I remember, those days, the old Trai Vrindavan, the new Trai Vrindavan was not there. It was the old bungalow which was there in Vrindavan. So whenever Bhagawan was in Bangalore for darshan, in the Indian Bangalore newspapers, you would have a In the City Today column. It was a small column which used to publish many events that happen. So there it will be written, Bhagawan Baba Darshan in Vrindavan. So when that father used to see that newspaper, or sometimes Gangar Shetty Garu used to inform him that Baba has come, he's going to be here for a few days. My father was a very busy practitioner of law, is a senior advocate, a former advocate general, and a man of diverse interests in life, and a very pious, simple, humble, spiritual person. He had no showiness about him. He was absolutely down to earth. So whenever he got this information, at breakfast, he used to just casually mention to my wife and to me, Baba is in Bangalore. I'm planning to go for darshan. So my wife would, immediately say, I'm coming, I'm coming. So then I would have left for the office. So at the office, he will tell me that, I'm going in the afternoon for darshan to Whitefield. Your wife said she's coming. That's it, and pause. He wouldn't say, do you want to come? Are you coming? So I would say, yes, certainly I would also come if, my work permitted it. And then he would tell my wife, I'll send my driver, you hop onto the car and then you come to office and we'll go from there. And that's how these trips went on. And every time we went with my father, we would go there and I don't know, you might remember there was an old Krishna idol there. There's a big tree there and there's a kind of a
Sairam
makeshift Sairam shed was there. Nothing else was there. And so we would go and be there and father would go to the gate and Sevadal would recognize him and, allow him inside because by that time my father was a member of the state Sathya Sai Trust. There's a council of management. He was a member of that. So he would go inside and we had to wait outside and he would have to go inside and mention to Bhagawan that my son and daughter-in-law are here, Baba. And Swami would immediately say, where are they? Please bring them in. And then we would be ushered into the old bungalow. And things were very different then, this kind of a mad crowd was not there. It was very well regulated. Only few people would be there inside. And Swami would then come out for darshan. But on days when I didn't go with my father and I happened to go on my own, some days we are in college and suddenly we'll hear about this. So I'll just hop onto my scooter and drive to Whitefield because my college was in St. Joseph's College in Brigade Road. And from there, Whitefield was, just a drive away. So many days we would just hop on the bike and go there, park the scooter and wait for Swami's darshan. And those days, I didn't have the privilege of having his personal darshan or anything. So I would go and sit down in the hall, in the shed, and have Swami's darshan. And of course, he would give a knowing smile and a nod, and that's how it was. So those were the days in which, we were blessed to have Swami's very close interactions. Then came years later, Swami decided, my father invited him and Swami decided to come to our house. That was in November of 1976. And our house was in Sadashiv Nagar in Bangalore, in the north of Bangalore. I remember very clearly and distinctly how the day went. Swami came home in the evening and spent an hour there. And it's a two-storied house. All the guests were in the ground floor. The dining, everything was arranged in the upper floor, the first floor. And Swami had his own table and a chair, and all the other guests were seated on the floor. And we had, many dignitaries there, including Justice Venkatachalaya, who later became Chancellor of the Sathya Sai Institute of Higher Learning. He was then a judge in the High Court. And Justice Jagannath Shetty, who later became judge in the Supreme Court. Like that, many leading people were there in society. And Swami spent a whole evening and had dinner and then he left. Now, why I'm mentioning this in some detail is after that, the number of visits that we had to Swami and the kind of interactions we had sort of, doubled and trebled. I was then in my second year degree, BCom. Next year, I finished my degree. And the same year, 1977, we came to Puttaparthi for Swami's birthday. And it was a whole family had come. I think we were about 10 or 15 of us. And as soon as the Swami saw us, he blessed us. And Swami was then in the Purnachandra hall. And he immediately called all of us there. And we went inside and we sat with Swami. He spent some time. And this was in the year 1978 because I just graduated and had started my chartered accountancy course. And I had just taken my intermediate CA examination. That usually examinations happens in the first week of November. And this was Swami's birthday, which was, 23rd. So Swami called, he looked at me and he looked at everybody, gave everybody gifts. And then he said, what are you doing? So I said, Swami, I'm studying to become a chartered accountant. I'm also taking up my law degree simultaneously. He stared at me and said, you're a Vidyarthi. don't become Vishyarthi.
Oh.
So it was a very direct message, like how we heard Swami's message this morning. What a powerful direct message it was.
Yes.
Just like that, he told me. And imagine 21-year-old or 20-year-old person hearing this message from Swami. How should it work in my mind? I went back, then I started thinking, what is it that Swami meant for me? And then I realized that I was doing 3 professional courses simultaneously. I was doing my chartered accountancy, I was doing my law, and I was doing my company secretaryship. So I realized that the message was loud and clear that I must not do anything else other than study. Vidyarthi.
Yes.
So I slowly cut off all my friendships with all my friends. And doing these 3 professional courses is a real tough order. And I would be, reading away the whole night. All my friends who were living in our area were my friends who would be going around to see a movie in the night show and come back at 12:30 and see my lights on, come and, shout at me from the door, downstairs gate, say, hey, what are you doing? Come on, come down, chat with us for a few minutes. So I would close my books, come down 5-10 minutes, chat with them, go back to my studies. Said, did you enjoy the movie? I said, yes, we missed you. I said, no, I had better things to do. So that's how life became. I sort of got completely engrossed in work and studies, and probably thanks to Bhagawan's blessing, that before I was 23, I had got 3 professional degrees in my pocket. And not only that,
And you were gold medalist.
Yeah, see, that's in the LLB degree. I became a gold medalist because I got the first ranking for all the 3 years that results were declared, which was actually a kind of a additional course that I was doing. I was doing the main course, something else. Anyway, so it went on like that. And after that, by that time, what had happened was, I had happened to meet my wife, Madhuri, on a visit that I had made to Mahabaleshwar. It was very strange again. Strange why I say is, because I had never been to Shirdi, and my wife's family, they were great devotees of Shirdi Baba. And she recalls that as a young girl, whenever they went to Shirdi, the big paraphernalia, everything was not there. There was only the Samadhi Mandir there. And ladies and young women were allowed to sleep inside the main mandir in the upper floor because there was no other accommodation. Men would sleep outside, and there was, they would allow the ladies to sleep. So this was sometime in the late 60s and early 70s. So it was very, very clearly something that she developed there. And she started reading the Sai Satcharit. She's Maharashtrian, so she's Marathi is a mother tongue. So she started reading Satcharit. And very often she says, I was asked to do all the diya and the lighting in the Dwarka Mai. Nobody, she was there and they said, you do this. Just like, coming back in time now, in recent times, whenever we come for darshan, this is after Swami's Mahasamadhi, and we walk in through the mandir, somebody started telling her, you have to do the rangoli in front of Swami's throne inside the mandir. I mean, she never asked for it. And ever since then, every time we come, she goes there first, she does the flower rangoli, then she goes into sitting. Now, this, what shall we say, this attachment or this devotion to Shirdi Baba, and she had never ever had darshan of Sathya Sai Baba. So, it was very strange feeling that on that year, a few of us, 4 of our friends, we decided to go on a trip. One of my uncles used to live in Pune. He's our favorite uncle. He's a great friend for us. He used to play all the pranks with us and everything. So we went to visit him. And after going there, we said, one of the gentlemen, one of my friends who came with me is Gujarati, their family who believed in Shirdi Baba. So he told us, we have come all the way to Pune. Why not we go to Shirdi? I mean, it was completely unplanned. So we said, okay, we'll go to Shirdi. And then we just hopped onto a bus and we went to Shirdi. Those days, there's, nothing there. This I'm talking is sometime in the 76, 77. So there was a big dormitory and they would give a small locker. So you could sort of sleep in the dormitory, put your things in the locker. And there was a community toilet and there was a practically an open air bath. And if you wanted to have a hot water, it would cost you 5 paise. Hot water bucket would be given to you. You could take it there, have bath. And there was, I still remember one Tamilian gentleman used to run one Madras cafe there. That's the only place where he got coffee and idli. Otherwise, nothing else was available there. Gujarati khana was available. So that was the time how it was. So we went to Shirdi, and the darshan was very easy. There was no long line, nothing. So we sort of sat down there and had darshan 2-3 times peacefully. And then we decided, now where do we go? And everybody said, we'll go to Mahabaleshwar. Now, Mahabaleshwar is also not on our agenda. But, in that youthful exuberance, chalo, we'll go to Mahabaleshwar. Where do you stay in Mahabaleshwar? No, who bothered about it? No. Got onto a bus, went to Mahabaleshwar. Got down in the bus station there. And there are these touts who come to you, say, sir, acha room hai, we'll get you a room, come here, this room, that room, like that. So we bargained with him. How much is the room? This is 5 rupees, sir, one night. So I said, okay. So we went along with him. And he took us to a hotel. I think it was called Aram Hotel also. And then we went in, checked in, 3-4 youngsters, all of us. And then we went sightseeing and all. We came back in the evening, we found some family there. So we started talking to them. And then we realized that the person who was there is a person whom I'm now married to for 45 years. And she had happened to come there because that building belonged to her sister's husband, her brother-in-law. She had lost her parents. So she was practically, brought up by her elder sister and brother-in-law. So her brother-in-law owned this building, and they were coming not very frequently. So they let out a portion of it for running a hotel. And they were retained the remaining portion. So they were living there. And so we sort of happened to, bump into her there. And then she was there with her niece and nephew. And so she used to have a Coke and this, that, everything. So a few days we just talked to each other. And the day that we met was a Thursday. And we decided, in the evening there was a hotel called Dreamland, which is famous for a good thali. And so we went to Dreamland Hotel for a thali. And the only place in Mahabaleshwar which had a television, a black and white television, was in Dreamland. So the attraction was, after Kana, you can watch some television for a little while. And there used to be some program with film songs and all that. We could watch and come back. So that's how I met her. And the friendship sort of developed. I went to Bombay. I used to go for audit to Bombay, and that's when our friendship continued. And slowly, we felt that maybe we are made for each other. And of course, ours is a very conservative South Indian Brahmin family. And she is from Bombay, the place of Bollywood. I mean, you can imagine what all thoughts would come through our minds of our parents, my mother's then not alive, my father and others. And as I told you, our family of, conservative life, temple, and, so many rituals at home, and all the great festivals that we celebrate, everything. But, the thing is that when God makes these things, it's all pre-planned. When my wife was very young, there was an old Purohit who suddenly used to come to the house and told her, I'm going to teach you Atharva Shirsha. And so he actually taught her the entire Atharva Shirsha. Though I did some Veda Dhyana, because that is part of Atharva Veda, I had never learnt Atharva Shirsha. So before that, unknowingly, sitting somewhere in Bombay, she learnt Atharva Shirsha. And then they had a small altar in the house. Flats in Bombay, how big they are, 400, 500 square feet, and that's it. So in the balcony area, there's a small altar. She never ever missed doing puja. That was her routine. She's always doing it. And she's reading Satcharit. This is the environment in which she came. She has nothing to do with Bollywood or nothing to do with the film industry or anything of that kind. But the family environment was like that. So then when these things sort of, started working in my mind, and I thought maybe, she's going to be a kind of a, good addition to our family. That was my thinking. Of course, other people had their own views. And so when this topic was broached with my dad, he said, are you sure? You've got to finish your studies, because I had not yet finished my CA exam. I said, yes, we'll wait, and that's how it went. And then after everything was over, again, he asked me, well, you talked to me about it. When do we see her? Are you really going to go forward? I said, yes, okay, I will invite her to come. So she came home one day, And they had a brief interaction. And father left it at that. And then again did not tell me anything. Years later, I realized he used to maintain a diary. And in the diary, he had written that I raised this topic about my son's proposed marriage with Bhagawan Baba. Baba told him, this is what he has written. Baba told me that she is ideal girl for your wife, for your family, and she will make everybody very happy. So please go ahead. Is what Swami told my father about my marriage without my asking Baba anything. And the minute he said that, all the doubts in my father's mind sort of dissipated, went away, and he was very clear. He said, nothing doing. There were very close people in our family were opposed to it. He told all of them, see, if you come for the wedding, I'm happy. If you don't come for the wedding also, I'm happy. It doesn't matter. The wedding will take place. And father said, I will arrange everything. Girl's side doesn't have to do anything. So we arranged a temple marriage in the temple. In the year 1980, the silver jubilee of the temple from 55 to 80, there was an auditorium that was constructed, a prayer hall. You can seat about 250 people on the floor. There's a stage and everything. The first function that was held there after that, it was as though it was built for our wedding, was my wedding. And Dad organized everything. He didn't expect anything from the girl's side. And the wedding took place there. And we had a small reception later in Bangalore, which hardly had about 200-300 people in a small hotel called Parag Hotel. So what I'm saying is, how Swami works. On one hand, he told me, become Vidyarthi. Then he allows me to finish all these things. Then that I sort of got digressed. After Mahabaleshwar, after Shirdi, we went to Mahabaleshwar. And in Mahabaleshwar, we met her. But in Shirdi, I didn't meet her. And when I met her and I started talking to her and realizing that she is a great devotee of Shirdi, and I cannot forget it. One of our first trips when they came to Bangalore, just before boarding the train, those days it was the Udyan Express Bangalore via Miraj and all that. So she gave me a gift. Young people, what gift would you expect her to give me? She gave me a small book, which is the Satchari, this bhajan booklet, which is published by Shirdi Sansthan. All the bhajans, 3 bhajans are there. No? That. And Sada Sat Swarupam Chidananda Kandam. Bhagat. No, that stotra which is there, I still remember it's in page number 14 of it. So she gave me that. And she said, you read page number 14 every Thursday. This was how our friendship continued. So it went on like this. So then wedding time, question arose, Swami wanted to bless the wedding because he had told Dad. So how does he manage that? So he tells my father, as soon as the bride's party come to Bangalore, bring them here. I want to bless them. And all of us were, my uncle, aunt, my dad, and Madhuri and her family, all of us went to Vrindavan. So Swami was at his usual exuberant self. He called all of us, gave Pad Namaskar, gave her a sari, materialized Mangal Sutra, and said, I'm giving it to you now. You tie it on the day of the wedding that you're going to take place in your father-in-law's temple. All of this he gave and blessed us, and he, made our life go on together. This was in the year 1981. Now, from 81 onwards, this bond with Swami started, growing. There was no occasion that we did not think of Swami. There was no occasion when we would do anything without, praying to him. Though those days coming to Puttaparthi was still difficult. My father was also very kind of a, very quiet, reticent type of person. You would find him just, somewhere in the corner. He doesn't like, though, I still remember one episode. Swami was in Kodaikanal. And then whenever a Kodaikanal trip was there, father would come to know because Balram Nichani, who was very close to Swami and, in many ways, he was our very dear friend. He was also my father's client in some way. So Balram would always tell father, Sir, Bandidare Baba, he's gone to Kodaikanal, so we shall go. So then he would plan it, and there was that Carlton Hotel. So Balram would say, Sir, I'm going to book the room there. You don't take any trouble, we'll go. So one day he went there, and Swami was in residence. So Swami went to Sai Stuti for darshan. Some Sevadal there did not know who he was. They made him wait at the gate and said, You can't go inside. And so Swami saw father was just waiting by the gate. Then I don't know how somebody noticed him and they came running from inside. And then mentioned to Swami. Swami said, Who is this person? Come on, get him inside. Said, You know who he is? He is my Apta Shishya. He should always be here. And ever since that day, every day my father used to be there for darshan. Another very interesting thing which I have not seen anywhere else and with anybody else, many days Swami would ask my father, Sundar Swami, yen matadbeku ivattu? What should I talk about? Give me a topic. Suggest something. What do you want me to talk about? Or what shall we discuss? This is the kind of question which would be posed by Bhagawan to my father. And many times, father used to say, whatever he thought was appropriate for everybody. And father also never ever asked Bhagawan anything. He didn't say, give me this, give me that, nothing. And by grace of God, I've also never had that occasion to ask Bhagavan anything. Because he's given us more than what we actually need, we desire, we deserve. There's no need to ask Bhagavan anything. We have to do our duty. That's how father felt. So he never asked for anything. So this is how it used to keep on going. And after that trip to Kodaikanal, 2 or 3 times Swami, my father went when Swami was in Kodaikanal. It was the same, kind of treatment and thing. So when it came back to Puttaparthi, now I must come back again forth in time. See, in Puttaparthi, there was not enough accommodation. So again, as I said, father never felt like asking Bhagavan. I said, Swami, I'd like to come and stay a few days. Can I get a room? He never asked. So he thought it was, not right to ask Bhagavan things like this. So, but he would come. So on festive occasions, Gangadhar Shetty Garu had a room in a round block. Because it was a big family, Bhagavan had given them 2 rooms. And invariably, they would come with a cook and they would have food. And of course, today's canteens, this, that, not in that vintage. So food and things like that was an issue. So Gangadhar Shetty had given of our family a standing invitation to say, whenever you come, please, you have to have food with us. So we would come in the morning, carry some idli in the night and stop on the way, finish whatever little breakfast, reach here in time, have darshan, and then hospitality of Gangadhar Shetty family. We would have dinner, lunch with them, and then we would return. Very rarely we stayed here. My dad never took any liberties, never asked for anything, never demanded anything, never even said, I want darshan, I was interviewed, this, that, he never asked. He never told Swami, my children have come, please give interview. Nothing like that. My children have come. Whatever Swami says will happen. That's all. No other questions. So that's, I think, the extreme form of humility that a person can develop. So that was their relationship. Now, after the visit to our house in 1976, the visits to Bhagavan continued to increase. And after I became a lawyer, it sort of continued in the same way. We would come somewhat more often to Puttaparthi also. And all events, major festivals, we were coming here. So life went on like that. Children were born. And when my children, I used to bring them here. Swami was always gracious. I remember the first time, my father, at the age of 72 and odd years, while arguing a case in court, he just collapsed inside the court and left the body. Right? He was hale and hearty. He had diabetes, but no other major complication. He had no heart problems. But then he had to go in that manner. Now, it happened so suddenly. He was, the best of his profession. And so everything fell to my lot. Then I was in a quandary. I said, now how do I go for Swami's darshan? So what happened was that Gangadhar Shetty Garu or somebody proposed the name of my elder brother Ramdas to be in place of my father in the state trust. So then my elder brother used to come for Swami's darshan, but then he was just, that's it, nothing more, nothing less, like that. And of course, he became a member of that. And if you remember, in Vrindavan, there was a small block reserved for state trust members. So we could go and sit there during normal darshan. So whenever I went, if I went with my brother, I could sit there. If I didn't go with my brother, I couldn't sit there. So I had to stand in the line and sit somewhere. One day I sat like that. Dr. Padmanabhan came out before Swami's darshan. He looked at me and said, "What are you doing here?" I said, "No, that's only for straight trust." "Who told you all that? Come, come, come." He held my hand, made me sit in the same place where I would normally sit with father and him. So in other words, I don't know, Swami's grace of allowing me some privilege which I never expected and which I didn't deserve also. And I'm nobody, like I was just a boy then. So I could be wherever. But then he put me there. So then it continued like this. But then the problem in Puttaparthi got accentuated in the sense that we never came here. I didn't know anybody. I didn't know Chiranjeev Rao, Chakravarti Garu, nobody. So then after my father's sudden passing away, I said, I must go for darshan. So how do I go for darshan? I asked Ganga Shetty Garu, "Sir, I want to go. I'm taking my wife and children. How can I go? Will I get room? Where should I stay? How can I go for darshan?" So he said, "Nagan, I'll give you a letter." So he wrote down a letter and you go and meet Chiranjeev Rao Garu and give it to him. So I came in my car and then stopped there and I went to Chiranjeev Garu. Gave him this letter. "Okay, you come tomorrow," he said. So I said, "Where should I come?" "Where you will come. Come for darshan," he said. So then I said, "I've come with family and children, room." "Room we'll get." So some room they gave me, some place. Then we finished night. Morning darshan, I came to the gate. Waiting. 6:30 ho gaya, 7 o'clock ho gaya. No sign of Chiranjeev Rao. Swami's arrival time, darshan. So one poor Sevadal standing there, "Sir, for whom you are waiting?" he said. "No, Mr. Chiranjeev Rao told me to come here and I'm waiting for him to take me for darshan. Chiranjeev Rao Garu has got back pain today, is not coming. So what will you do?" I said, "I don't know what to do. See, Swami will come any moment. Therefore, don't wait here. I'll take you, come." He held my hand, took me and put me in the last row in Kulwant Hall. So I went and sat there. Swami came for darshan. Everything was first class. Dur se I had nice darshan. I don't know what my wife would have done because she was on the ladies' side. I suppose she also would have met with the same fate. Then I thought to myself, what to do? This is all there is. I had anyway darshan. I came back. Then after darshan was over, I went to Chiranjeev Rao Garu's office. Said, "Sir, I had come in the morning. I was told you're not well." "You're not the only one we have to see. You come in the afternoon." That's all, conversation over. So I went back. Said, "Okay, let us see afternoon." Afternoon I came, 2:30, 3 o'clock something, whatever time. I came to the gate. Chiranjeev Rao came there with folded hands like this. "Sir," held my hand, took me and made me sit. "Sir, this is your place. This is veranda. Vice Chancellor is sitting there. Next to that you have to sit."
Oh my.
So I was a bit taken aback. I said, "What happened suddenly? How Swami knew?" Swami has obviously called him and given these instructions. What else Swami told him, I don't know. This is what happened. Swami came for darshan. The minute he saw me, he held my hand and he made me sit there. And he said, "Your father is with me, you don't worry." It was the first visit after father's passing. "You be with me. Your father is with me. Now you don't have to worry. I'll take care." Just imagine. So that's how that sort of journey continued after that. That happened in 1996. Shortly after that, I used to come quite often. After that, what happened was Swami was, up and down in Prasanthi, Nilayam, and here. The hospital work was started in Bangalore. So one summer when nearly every day I used to go for darshan. And one day Swami called me for inside to Trai and called me into the interview room. I was only one there. And then he talked about the hospital. And then he said, have you seen the hospital? I was a bit taken aback. And I said, no, Swami. I didn't even know that hospital is built or building. Or I knew that some building is taking place. So go and see, he said. So then I said, okay, I'll see. What to see also, nothing was told to me. Then after some time, he sent word to Sood and said, Rajan, you take him to see the site. That's all instruction you would have given. So Rajan came and says, come, we'll go. I said, it's raining here. How can we go today? We'll go tomorrow. Then after some time, I thought to myself, hey, Swami, I said, go see. How can I do tomorrow? Tomorrow, if Swami asked, did you see? What will I tell him? So no question of tomorrow. We'll go now. In pouring rain, we went to the site in Whitefield. We went, drove inside. All excavation work was going on. Overall, he showed me this is where the block is, this is what it is, this is how it is going on, who's working, all these things. We had some discussion. We came back to Vrindavan to drop him. After a few days after that, Bhagawan then called me once more. That whole week, every day he was, calling me. Nothing great to talk about, but every day he was giving me the blessing of an interview. So some people in the Darshan, they were saying, what, every day you're going, very lucky fellow. I say, what have you done? So I said, I don't know, I didn't do anything. So after 4 or 5 days, Swami said, I want you to be a trustee in the medical trust. So then I said, Swami, I'm a lawyer, as though he didn't know. I said, I don't know anything about medicine. How can I be a trustee in the medical trust? Not possible. So he said, you be trustee. You don't do anything. I will do everything. So then I told him, Swami, father has just left. I've got profession. I've got young children. I've got so much responsibility. How I'll be able to do? I held his feet. You don't do anything, Bangaru. This was in the smaller room inside the interview room. Then I said, Swami, if you say that, then I'm at your disposal. Shortly after that, they appointed me as the youngest trustee in any of Swami's institutions at 38 and a half years of age, and became trustee in the medical trust. Then, true to Swami's word, then there were no meetings. Like now we have so many meetings, no, nothing. No legal opinion, nothing. Very rarely some question would be posed. Of course, initially Swami held board of management meetings with the hospital. I remember the first meeting of the board of management after the Whitefield hospital was made. That was in the year 2001. First meeting was held. Swami presided over the meeting. In the same meeting where we now meet, all the doctors were there. The youngest person, I was the last in that row. I was sitting next to Swami. From this side, if you come, in the last. So Swami called the meeting to order, spoke about hospital, and he asked each person, "Neev chappu, you tell what your views are," like that. So everybody went around the table, then came back to me. And Swami said, "Neev Elio, you tell now what." So I said, "Swami, you built this hospital for poor people. The objective should be that any person who comes here should be welcomed, should be seen, should be treated if possible, or should be advised what to do. This is what should be the objective of the hospital." Swami's face lit up and said, "Yes, see what he's saying? That is why the hospital is built. That is how you must treat patients here. Don't send anybody away, whoever it is. You have to see them. And this is how patients should be looked after." So the Swami used to have meetings like this. Take views and opinions from everybody. And thereafter, of course, Swami would decide. But then everybody had to have a sense of participation. No? So this is how it was. And of course, the hospital building, everything went on as per schedule. After that first meeting of mine, Swami never asked me to go back again because I remembered his words. He said, "You don't do anything." Towards the end, again, a request came like that about Ganapati. Swami wanted some idols of Ganapati to be selected. So I took some, our family temple, which I mentioned. We have a Prasanna Ganapati temple. There is a standing Ganapati in that. We have a Utsav Murti of that, same thing. So that Utsav Murti, we have a miniature we made and kept for our house. That is in the temple. So in the house, just a replica. So I had that. I took it. So this is that standing Ganapati which you have in Whitefield. It's a replica of what we have 400-year-old temple in Chandekoppa. Right. Then there was some thing to be done for the dome and all that. So, I mean, that's a different story. Whatever had to be given for the dome, silver and gold, things like that. And so that's how that dome polishing and all that took place. Then comes the inaugural day. All these big people were invited, Prime Minister of India, two chief ministers, this, that, everything. Morning I went for darshan, and Swami came for darshan little early. After darshan, he was coming out. I was in my white dress. So he looked me up and down. Ready na? He said, yes, Swami, ready. Yalla arrangement aita. Yes, Swami, yalla aitu. Then he looked up again and down. Hige barta idya means, are you coming in this attire? Then it struck me that a formal occasion like this, Swami expected us all to be in formal suit. I mean, I didn't know it. Nobody had told me. So I said, yes, Swami, I'll change and come. So believe it or not, 7:15, I drove my car like a madman all the way back home to pick up my suit and drive all the way back. 9:15, I had to be back in the thing because 10 o'clock function was to start. So I drove like a madman and came back. And when I reached the hospital, it was 9:15, 9:20, Swami's arrival time. And, I was there for that function. And Swami said, you give bouquet to one of the chief ministers. And that's how it went, the function. So after that, there is really no big meeting that took place. Then they constituted a committee because I submitted to Bhagawan. We have two hospitals. One is in Bangalore, one is here in Prasanthi Nilayam. A lot of things are common. Procurements will be easy. So why don't we set up a single entity, hospital coordination committee? And that's when Mr. Lakshminarayan Garu and Prasad Rao Garu was drafted into that task. He asked who can be there. So I had said Lakshminarayan Garu is here, and I didn't then know Prasad Rao Garu well. So when I said this, Swami said, okay, we'll give him the task. So that's how two of them started an office here. It was in the ground floor of the IT center building. There was a small room only was given to them, where they were the coordination committee, all purchases, procurements, everything. They started coordinating and doing. So only after these two people came, there were a few meetings of purchase committee, and just not really a formal meeting, but then to discuss about what should be done, what should not be done, whom we can approach, things like that. And occasionally they would be reporting to Bhagawan. Now, many times, the system was that Swami would sign papers on a particular day in the month. Everything would be ready. And if Swami was in Kodaikanal, Krishna Kumar and Pasi or somebody would be there with all the accounts, details, everything. And then at Swami's convenience, he would verify everything. A check would be given. He would sign the check, and then the transfers would take place. Now, a number of other developments in the hospital took place. Just around that time, we were praying to Bhagawan that you must bless us with a visit to your house, to our house. So he said, I'll come. But finally, one day, 2 days earlier, he told that on this day I will come. That was the 2nd of June, 2000. And of course, it was a great celebration for us. And our whole family was really excited. And we had invited a few important people. The Chief Justice was there. Then Justice Venkatachalaya was there. Devi Shetty was there. And a few of my father's friends were there. And our own friends and nearest family, everybody. Morning, we came to Vrindavan and escorted Swami to our house. So we had a nice lunch. Swami gave darshan. He spoke for some time. And then he invited a few people. He asked Devi Shetty, another kotre tago tera, means if I give you something, will you accept it? So Devi said, yes, Swami, of course. So he materialized a ring, gold ring with a green stone, and gave it to Devi. I said, you wear it. Then there was another very old friend of my father. He had lost his memory. His memory was only that on Thursdays he will put on bhajan and hear. No other memory he had. He forgotten his wife, he's forgotten his children, nothing, no memory. Only that he used to remember. So we had brought him also. So he was sitting at the far end of the room. So Swami kept on looking at him. He said, come here. So he came, made him sit down next to him. He asked him, Vibhuti beka, you want Vibhuti? So he said, yes. So he put out his hand. So he gave Vibhuti and then put something on his forehead, Vibhuti, and said, be happy. Go and live with your son. Swami said and sent him. That's all the conversation. And he went back and he lived with his son for a long time because his son was also my junior for some time. So The thing is, Swami identified people at the right time for the right reasons and gave them the right kind of, what shall we say, advice, blessing, guidance, whatever you may call. Same thing happened some years later. I was Rotary president in the year 97, 98 of our Rotary Club. We run a free eye hospital there. We do free cataract surgeries. So I had mentioned to Bhagawan once or twice. Then when I was president, all the members said, take us to Swami for darshan. So one day I told Bhagawan that, Swami, all my Rotary people want to come. Rotary ante mi anta party tane? He said. I said, no, Swami, they have parties also, but we run an eye hospital. And I am the president. We have spent a lot of money on the equipment and we are doing free surgeries. Okay, you bring them, he said. So how many people come? I said, maybe about 30, 40 people will come. I said, okay. So then we fixed up. Everybody was greatly excited. And they came to Brindavan Prasanthi Nilayam in the morning. Early morning we came. We were asked to sit in the veranda, all of them in the lower level. I was seated next to the Vice Chancellor there. Swami came and he gave darshan and all came. By the time he came to call us, it was nearing 9. So he looked at us and said, 9 o'clock, now bhajan will start. You can't hear me, I can't hear you. So will you wait for afternoon? Everybody was excited. Swami is talking to us. He's asking us to wait. Certainly we'll wait. Not today. Any number of days we'll wait. So then that morning darshan ended. Afternoon all of us came. Swami huddled us, everybody into the interview room. We were all jam-packed. And Swami spent a lot of time. He gave everybody gifts, saris, this, that. He asked everybody, what do you do? What do you do? But 2 people he picked out and gave them special attention. One of them was very pious guy. Absolutely clean, straightforward, no drinking alcohol, vegetarian, good man, absolutely fine man. And gave him a ring. Then he called one more person. He's also in the member of the club, but he has some habits, this, that. And he has one daughter who had a lot of issues, this, that, everything. He blessed him also. Everything, interview over, everybody happy. Then all the fellows are saying, what? I say, this Ramakrishnan and Seturaman. Why Swami had to give them only ring? What is so special about them? They are great devotees of Baba or what? This kind of, dialogue went on. So I had to tell them, I said, look here, divine grace is something which we can't understand as human beings. It is something which happens and it is left to God. So they were still not convinced. Now you go forward a few years and then you realize why Swami did that. Seturaman was diagnosed with leukemia and he went to Vellore for treatment. Doctors said that difficult case, but we'll do a bone marrow transplant. They did a bone marrow transplant. Completely he recovered. I met him 2 weeks ago. He's hale and hearty, looks exactly how he looked 25 years ago.
Wow.
Then Ramakrishnan, right, the other guy, is a computer engineer and ICWA and all, a very qualified guy. His daughter, she got married, went to America. Hundreds of problems for that poor girl. Life was misery. He had to undergo a lot of difficulty. Finally, she got rid of that marriage and she came back and she now lives happily here. This is the second person who Swami gave special grace. What do you say? Trikalagnani. Swami is always in 3 time zones. The day that Swami came to our house for blessed our house with his darshan, Justice Venkatachalaya was invited. So at the dining table, Swami was sitting here. Venkatachalaya ji was sitting here. I was sitting here. So my wife was serving everything. So every time she comes with some sweet, Swami will say, no. Swami never used to eat. We all know that. But she would force and put something in his plate. So after she finishes service and goes away, he'll take the sweet and put it in Venkatachalaya's plate. Okay. Second time she'll come and say, no. It went on like this. So Venkatachalaya noticed this. And of course, prasadam he had also. Then everything was over. After Swami washed his hands, he came out, he was about to leave. Then Venkatachalaya ji asked him, I would like to have Pada Namaskar. He said, yes. My wife is here, can I call her? Yes, please call her. So she also came. And then she did namaskara, both of them. And then he said, Swami, after I'm blessed to have your darshan after so many years. Instantaneously said, 1946, you came to Sakamma's house, you did not get prasadam, you went away like that. This is in 2000. Then flashback happened. As a young boy, Swami came to Sakamma's house in Chamarajpet in Bangalore in 1946. How old was Swami then? 20 years. Venkatachalaya ji was studying in the Mission High School, which is Fort High School, which is close to Chamarajpet. So in his class, one boy told him some sannyasi sadhu is coming. Chalo, we'll go there, we'll get some mithai. At least mithai we'll get. For that we'll go. He didn't know that Swami is nothing. So with that boy, both Venkatachalaya ji and he came to Sakamma's house for Swami's darshan in the hope that they were going to get one mithai. Unfortunately for them, no mithai was given. So they had darshan and went back, grumbling, what, yeah, no mithai also. What is this? So Venkatachalaya ji said, 1946 mithai Swami has given me in 2000. Then Swami, as soon as we entered, came to our mandir, puja room in our house. He entered the puja room. He looked around. We have a number of photos. On the left side, there is a photograph. Swami is seated on a chair, a sofa. His right hand is on his heart, and his left hand is like this. And he saw that photograph. That was a photograph taken in 1976 when Swami visited our house, the old house. That was the older house. That's where my brother now lives. It's also in Sadashiv Nagar, but about 1 kilometer to the south of this house where we now live, where Swami is now come. I said, Swami, this is when you came last time to our house. Immediately, so what last time? Not this house, that house, old house, first floor. I'm sitting on table, all of you are sitting on the ground. And the named few judges, they were all there, no? Now what I'm saying is, you see, Swami this is nothing like memory. It is everything, your past, present, future is all right in front of him all the time. So when you are in front of Swami, you have to understand that Swami is seeing through everything, not only what you are now, what you were, what you are going to be, what is going to happen to you, everything. So after this 2000 visit, the visits to Puttaparthi became very frequent. The thing is that at every time, Swami he knew about my time schedules. He knew about the difficulties of getting out of professional work, about, finding time. So first question he would every time ask is, yen programo? Meaning that, when do you have to go? Of course, he didn't ask me, say, when are you going? But this is a way of asking, yen programo. So then I'll tell Swami, today I have to be back in Bangalore before evening. Or I'm staying. If I say, why tomorrow you stay here, take rest, don't do anything. Just come have Swami darshan and you eat with me. No other program, just relax. So, you could feel his joy inside. That, somebody is here and, let him be, knowing the pressures of time and everything. He says, come, you just relax here. That's how he would always say. If I tell him tomorrow, sometimes, when Swami is in Vrindavan, many times from court, I would go directly to see him. And, I would be wearing black trousers, white shirt. So if he sees me in that, he says, court inda bandidya. Then suddenly if he sees me, with court ilva, he'll say. So everything is keenly observed. And so if I told Swami that tomorrow I'm not, in a hurry to go, you're very relaxed, be here, enjoy this. This is how you would say. But then whenever there was something, if I'm in the veranda and Swami sees the anxiety on my face that I have to say something, I never till now asked Swami for anything for myself, right? Or members of our family. If only I went, it was something related to Swami's work. I thought it was important. For Swami, it may not be important, you see. But I thought it was my duty to place something. So for that reason, I would come. So one day what happened, I came, had some things on my agenda to mention to Bhagawan. I came there and usual place, where that near the first pillar where I would sit next to Vice Chancellor, I saw one chair was placed there. So I said, oh God, some VIP is here, gone, my chances. Nothing is going to happen today. I told myself, in my mind, this is all thought. Anyway, I went, sat down, that chair was there, Chief Minister Maharashtra came. So I knew Swami will come and, I don't know what will happen. So he came and that his wife was also there and they all were called interview. Then I thought interview means 9 o'clock, then bhajan, then only afternoon. I have to go back, what to do. All these thoughts are going on. In less than 2-3 minutes, door opened. That couple came out. Chair was removed. I was sitting there only. Swami standing by the door looking like this. Bah, he said. So I went inside.